going to Dubai, which is a dream. But what I walked into, it was trauma I never expected. So in 2016, an opportunity came knocking. So as a young girl, I grabbed onto it, going to Dubai to be an English tutor. It meant more earning, like a chance to explore, as in to begin afresh. My visa came, everything went well. I traveled to Dubai, and yeah, I was received by the agent who processed my visa. So because they had an office, I think, for workers there. So I went straight to my sponsor's house. So everything was well. We started off good. A fortnight later, the lady was like, "Oh, I think you're good at being a nanny. I see how you love you. You can be a nanny to her sister, because her sister had little children." I was like, "Nah, can you please take me back to my agent, to the person who brought me here?" So what the lady did was like, the car. Remember, I really don't know how things move down there. And we went to this house, her sister's house. Honestly, I spent a week there by that house. The trauma I got from that house, the experience was the worst I could have ever imagined in my life. I remember barely sleeping. I used to sleep probably 3 hours a day, and I had to survive on that sleep. Honestly, that house drained me spiritually, physically, emotionally for just 7 days. Like 7 days. I got hold of my agent. He was contacted. He came. So the situation, honestly, it wasn't what we all expected. So he was like, "Jackie, do you want to go with me right now?" There was no way I was going to stay in that house for even 1 more hour. So I told the guy, yes, I really want to go. This lady got furious. Like, "You want to go? Why do you want to go? You came here to work. Why are you like this?" So at that point, just crying. So the agent told this lady, if your sister did not like the way she was treating, she would have brought her back to us. That's how these things work. The lady was like, "Okay, but she cannot move even her bag. She can't take it out of this house." So she confiscated my belongings. Luckily, a bra came in handy. I grabbed my phone, placed it under my bra, and we went. With what I was wearing then, we went back to the office. This is my clothes being confiscated was not really such a big deal. I was like, if I get another job, I'm going to work. At the office, this guy came in. He's like, "Oh, I need someone to be around with my wife, to help my wife a little bit. We do not have children." I was like, I can do this for the meantime. There is no harm in trying. I go, honestly, they were in us family. So week one, it was really a good family, and I was willing to work with them. I told the agent, "You know what, I'm willing to work with these guys." So we went for a medical checkup. So if you know, most of the time when you go get a visa, medical checkups are always made. We go to the hospital, they do the samples and everything. I don't know what happened, but I had to do samples again. So I did samples again. After another week, when the result had to come out, guess what happened? The Baba who had to sponsor for my visa was like, oh, he came back really like kind of, how should I say, angry, but then kind of disappointed, like, oh, Jackie, why didn't you tell me you were sick? I'm like, how? He's like, if you know, most of the time, if you're traveling, they always tend to check for TB, which is tuberculosis. And so it's like, you had TB, you know it can be contagious. Why did you tell me? You're risking my family. Guys, I froze, like, what's going on? I told him I've never coughed. Honestly, if you know the signs of TB, like, there's no way as a person you wouldn't know. I was shocked. That's how I got misdiagnosed. The reason as to why I say misdiagnosed, because it was proven otherwise. So that shook me. That broke me. Worried on what I'm going to do next, how I'm even going to do it. I have no idea. So a person who went to work, now I have to call my mom back home to seek for help. Nothing close to what I ever imagined. As it says in his word, the Lord is closer to those who are brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in the spirit. I was at a crushed point. 2 weeks of being in that situation, stranded, knowing what to do, where to go, confused. Our God, who works behind the scenes. Suddenly, the Baba called. He called my agent to ask him, how is the girl I brought back? Did she go back home? You know, the guy was like, no, she has to look for money and her passport is still with the other lady. So in 3 days, my passport, the other lady was able to deliver it at the office, and my belongings were got. And yes, he bought the air ticket that I was literally worried about. Where am I going to get the money from? You know, what I'm going to do. So he bought the ticket with the wife. Remember, I went to her house to help her for 2 weeks, but they call it probation. Like, they wouldn't pay you for that. Literally came, give me pocket money, take home, so that I do not go empty-handed. Tell me, if it's not God who touches the hearts of men, who can it be? Did they know me that much? No. Was I their business? Of course not. But one thing, I was God's business. So the agent told me, you must have something special. Because, how come these guys loved you this much? To pay for your air ticket, to care for you to go back. That's how I left Dubai. To go back home, to my home country, to meet my mother. Isn't God wonderful? One lesson remained, that whenever I had a journey, I had to make sure it is God's will for me to go, and that God was working behind the scenes for my good. Maybe, I don't know, something worse would have happened if my God did not intervene, honestly. I don't know. I have no idea how things would have moved through that journey. But He is God and He knows it all. Are you in your own Dubai season? Do not lose hope. As it is said in the book of Isaiah 43, chapter 2, when thou passes through the water, I'll be with thee, and though the river, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Isn't our God gracious? So please like. You can comment your testimony below in the comment section and subscribe for more live chapters with Jackie. Shalom. Have a blessed week.